Truly deserving. I have never gotten the chance to try a DOX compound despite experimenting with various other RCs. When some came around, I could not wait. I had 6 hits which came on a rainbow-colored sugar cubes. This is a long report of the events of the trip and how the drug made me react to them, with a summary at the end. I begin simply eating one of the rainbow-colored sugar cubes around 7 p.m. I spent this time hanging around in my room with a friend playing guitar and just listening to music, looking at stupid shit on YouTube. At around 9 p.m., I was feeling a great sense of peace filling me. No matter what was happening or what was going on, I felt like I could just be chill. It was like having a feeling that everything was the perfect moment at the time. Me and my friend walked over to his dorm and ended up having an acoustic jam out in the hall in his building. I was able to just sit around and almost be enveloped by the music. Again, all I could feel was peace. At around 9:30, I ate another cube. We sat around and jammed for an hour when we decided to head over to my friend's house who was having a jungle juice party. This was going to be an adventure. Neither of us owned a car, so we had to jump on the public transit and ride that for half an hour. At this point, I was beginning to see visuals. We stopped off to pick up some blunts and cigs at the tobacco shop, and I could see some shifting and moving of the carpet below me if I focused. The train ride seemed to take forever and no time at all. I felt like hurrying was not possible. We spent so much of our time worrying about where we were headed that we forgot to enjoy the moment. I can't describe the state of mind I was in. It was 11:30 and we reached the end of the line where another friend was coming to pick us up. I chilled there smoking a cigarette again, just feeling a sense of total and utter peace with me and the world. At 11:35, I took 2 more cubes. My friends picked us up and we got to the party. I have no problem tripping in party situations of 20 to 30 people. I sat around smoking hookah and kind of chatting with people as I was the only one tripping and everyone else was just getting shit-faced drunk. My trip was still at a peaceful state of tranquility. It was interesting to watch the people around me fall apart as they slowly descended into drunkenness. Just around when everyone started passing out at around 2:35 a.m., my trip really started to hit me. I sat outside for around 45 minutes, smoking and watching the clouds shift and flow like an incredibly complex lava lamp in the sky. It was after this that I decided to go inside, as it was probably around 15 degrees even though I did not feel it. Also, things began to get much more intense. The next 5 or so hours were very intense. I began to come down at around 6 a.m. I began to withdraw from reality if I was not directly engaged with someone. I would leave my body because I ceased to function in my surroundings. In my head, it was like every memory was being linked with new ideas and surroundings. It was like complete abstraction in my mind. It was like having vivid dreams while completely awake. I jammed on another guitar but kept losing focus unless I really concentrated or was talking to someone. For probably an hour or two, I was completely lost inside my own mind space. It was in no way scary. I was already so at peace that the slow build-up had given me that I was completely ready to let go into my own mind. The next morning at around 8 a.m., things had really mellowed out. Things were barely moving, but I was still definitely in a tripping state of mind. I was able to eat a huge breakfast at IHOP, but I had not eaten anything the day before. At around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I had made it back home. I was no longer having visuals, but my pupils were still big black saucers, and I was still in a different state of mind. At around 3:30, I ate a hit of acid. I was not really expecting the acid to really have much of an effect on me. I had started drinking from a jug of wine no one had wanted the night before, and having passed on alcohol, I was ready to mellow out a little bit. But sure enough, about an hour in, I was starting to feel that LSD magic in mind state. 2 hours in, I was getting great acid visuals. I must have still been tripping on the DOM, and the visuals and mind state I was in was definitely still somewhat DOM. At around 8 p.m., I ate 2 more sugar cubes. At around 9 p.m., me and some friends headed over to a house party where there would be a live reggae rock band playing. We got there right as they were setting up. I ended up drinking about 6 or 7 beers over the course of the party. There ended up being like 70 people in this tiny room dancing out to reggae. It was around 11 p.m. and I had felt the acid start to wear off, but still I was in an incredibly peaceful mind state. I could just feel the good vibes coming off everything. I still had all the energy in the world despite being up forever. I was back in my room at around 2 a.m. and it ended up eating a little more. Things were really starting to die down. I ended up listening to music and ended up passing out at around 3 a.m. I woke up the next day at around 9 a.m. and still felt a little strange, but fell asleep fine the next night after just sitting around in my room all day. Overall, I can say DOM is an amazing drug. It is by far my new favorite research chemical. The first night was an incredibly spiritual experience. The only other research chemicals I have ever found to have any spiritual value was 2CT2. DOM is definitely not a party drug. It has a very introspective, peaceful quality to it. Yet, the second night with the acid, it gave a feeling of just being able to have a great time. There is no other way to describe it. It is truly deserving of the title Serenity, Tranquility, and Peace.